So thank you everyone for being here. Hope you all had a great lunch. And what stands between all of us and our afternoon nap is this session. So I'm Sadaf Jalal, VMware Edge SD-WAN and SASE business unit. And let's start off with this session, Fortify your branches with enhanced firewall service for VMware. And I have John and Aamer with us today. John, can you introduce yourself?
Sure, John Lloyd with a partner called CBTS. We have a little over 800 unique VMware SD-WAN and SASE customers, and I have responsibility for field CTO and practice principal for our large strategic deployments.
Aamer?
I'm Akhter, so I run product management at VMware for security services, both in the cloud as well as on-prem at the branch routers.
So when we were going through COVID, we had all the fears. Enterprises were challenged with making a big shift towards a distributed environment. Whether that included having users work from anywhere, whether it's branches, whether it's a Starbucks, whether it's your home office, and having any users, contractors, partners, interns, access any applications, whether they are on a public cloud or SaaS or sitting in a data center. And enterprises really face this challenge of how do they give the same level of network performance, optimization, security to the end users, and at the same time make sure security is entailed. And everybody was working through those challenges. Now, as the fear has gone down a little bit, we see a hybrid approach where organizations are leveraging their investments that they made for a distributed environment, but at the same time, users are returning to branches, and we want to make sure that branches are keeping up with that same level of security, same level of network performance and optimization. So John, I want to kick it off with you. Number one, as a telco provider and a service provider, did your organization experience that challenge? And number two, as we go back, as customers are going back into the office, what are some of the new trends that are picking up?
Yeah, so I always tell this story. The first phone call I got, it was March 16th of 2020, was the go home. We have a customer, they're a government organization, state government, about 50,000 employees. And that was the first phone call, was we have 50,000 people that we're sending home, and we have never had work from home capability before. We don't have VPN. So our other customers that were using vSphere in the data center, and maybe they were running an ASA, for any connect, you could increase the size, you could increase these things. All of a sudden, we had customers that needed this flexibility of how do I connect? So that was the first challenge of I'm going home, how do I get access to my applications, right? And obviously, I need to do that securely. As we're seeing people move back into the office, and it's not just about hybrid, and I'm in the office some days a week, but hybrid meaning work from anywhere, not just from my home, but I need to be geographically distributed. People have the expectation they can move across the globe, move across the country, and work from anywhere. And as you see, the original kind of definition of SASE was almost a proxy, right? It was firewall in the cloud. I went home, get me out to the internet securely and safely. As we were seeing people come back in, the big thing that we're starting to see is, well, I don't want to pay for SASE bandwidth for every application, right? It was send it out to the cloud. Well, right, but when I'm paying per meg, per gig, do I want to send Netflix through there? How do I start to create application-aware security policies? And I think we'll talk a lot about that today. That's one of the big things as we've seen people move back into this hybrid idea is how do I build the attack surface management for my application, for my branch, for my customer, and make that decision financially as well as securely.
Oh, that sounds right. And Aamer, do you want to add on to how VMware SASE took on that challenge with the distributed environment? And how did that come in?